Alright, welcome back. In the last video we got the character body script going. We created a little character. We also, I think that was it for the last video. In previous videos we created a level. It looks a little bit like this. Just a little quick level, very small platform, and then just a few platforms. In this video we're actually going to go deeper into the player script. We're going to give it a little more functionality. We're going to change the inputs. I'm going to show you how to add inputs. Specifically, we're going to add some new animations, a jump, run, and run animation, so we can make him run while he's moving. We're going to add a death function in there, because in the video afterwards we'll be making an enemy and he'll be jumping, and when he touches the player will die, and then after 2 seconds or 3 seconds, I haven't quite decided yet, then the level will reset. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, let's get started. So we have our player here. He's already got the player animation, or not animation, he's got the player script attached. We'll manipulate that in a bit. But let's go ahead and add some more animation. So if we come down here to the bottom, make sure you click on sprite frame, or animated sprite 2D, sorry, and then come down here, you'll see the sprite animation frames window pop up. We're gonna go ahead and add some new animations, and then just double click to change it. We'll add a jump animation, we'll add a run animation, and then a death animation. There we go. That's what we're gonna do. So from here, what we're going to do is add the animations. Sorry, I had a brain fog for a second. So our death animation, since it's on top because it goes in alphabetical order, look for your enemy character player. Find the hurt or death animations, whichever one it says, depending on what you chose to use. In this case, I'm using the fire imp, so I'm going to look for the hurt animation. But if you look at Foxy, he has a dizzy, which would probably be the easiest one for him to use in this instance. The squirrel has also a hurt animation, and the Sunny Bunny has none. So you can, if we're using Sunny Bunny, you may have to find something else out, or it may just not play it. I'm not entirely sure. You may want to switch if you're using the Sunny Bunny in this case, or you can have it call another animation. You can have it call the jump animation and just do like 2 frames, right? But besides that, let's go ahead and get going with our death animation. We already added the hurt frames for the fire imp. Let's go on idle's good. Let's check our jump. We need to add the jump animation, so we'll find jump, the sprites, and then jump animations. We'll drag those in there. We'll add the run next and add those in there. First, press Control S to save, and let's go ahead and open up our script. You can open up your script in a couple of different ways. You can just click on script like that, or you can click on the scroll here, do the same thing. So for our player to work the way I have it planned for this video and the next one, we need to add a class name. That way this can be accessed in any script. So we're going to do that. We're going to add another constant, and this one's going to be called gravity, and we're going to make that equal to 900. Let's see. I didn't like how fast it was moving, so I'm going to change that to 200 for the speed. And then we need to add a public variable, so at export variable death delay, it's going to be a float, and for now we're going to make it equal to 2. All right. We need a private variable is dead, and that's going to be equal to false. Alright, so I'm just going to delete all of this and we'll type it in as we need it. So starting with the line under the physics process, if is dead, and then velocity dot y plus equals gravity times delta. I should probably make a video that talks about delta and explains that. So, and then applies gravity even when dead. That's what we want it to do. So I want you guys to know that. All right. And then gonna have it move and slide as well because we want there to be a little bit of movement, and then we're gonna return that because we don't want anything else happening. Now we need to handle our gravity stuff, so this next bit is going to be all about the gravity. And why is that? Oh, gravity, there we go. And I apparently don't know how to spell or type velocity. There we go. Alright, I don't know what veloc was, but it is now corrected. Alright, so this bit is going to handle the gravity, so we're just gonna, that way we know what everything is doing. If not is on floor, then we're going to do a thing, and that thing is velocity dot y plus equals gravity times delta. Alright, now let's get into our inputs. So this is going to be all of our input stuff. I'm creating a variable of direction at input dot get action strength. Now the default is this UI underscore right. The default that's built in is this. I want to change that, so before we do anything else, let's go ahead and change this in our project settings up here. Go to project settings, and then you'll be on general by default. Go to input map, and we're going to add a new action here. So we're going to type in left, and we're going to add that right, we're going to add that, and then for now we're just going to add in jump, and we're going to add that. So now we have those input actions. Now we got to tell it what button to look for. So over here on the right, press the plus sign, and it will listen for you to press the key on the keyboard. So I'm going to press the left arrow, and it already knows what I did, so I'm going to press OK. I'm going to press the plus sign next to right and press the right arrow, and then I'm going to press the plus sign next to jump, and I'm going to press the space bar and press OK, and then I'm going to close it. So now I can get rid of the UI part, and we're going to finish our writing. So minus input dot get action strength, and then it's going to be left, and then velocity dot x equals direction times, there it is, speed. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is handle the jump. Sorry, oh, it's 7:30. And I've already had coffee, so I don't know why I'm yawning. Alright, so it's going to be our jump info. And what we need to do is that we're looking for if we are on the floor. Oops. Is on floor. And input dot is action just pressed. Where is it? There it is. Just pressed. And that action is going to be jump. Just so you know, I'm using the predictive text stuff is and I'm just pressing enter as it pops up, I guess is the best way to put it. So velocity dot y is going to be equal to our jump velocity. Alright. Now we have all those animations. So let's control the let's get the animations going. So this next bit is going to be our animation calls. And so what we want is if our velocity dot y is going to be, I always get those mixed up, less than or equal than, but whatever that one is, I should really, that's the only thing that's ever tripped me up when it came to math in school, is those silly little things. So our animated sprite 2D dot play, we're gonna play the jump animation. Else if we're gonna call absolute because we want the actual velocity dot x is this one, that's shift period 0.1 greater than 0.1. There we go. All right, that makes sense. All right, thank you for that. So if the velocity is less than 0, then we're gonna play the jump. I think we should play it either way, but for right now this will work. All right. If it's greater than 0.1, then we're gonna play the run animation. Else we're just gonna play the idle. And then I'll make one last call for move and slide to apply all that movement. Let's see. Where are we at time wise? We're already at 14 minutes. There's one last thing we're gonna do. We'll do the death stuff when we do the enemy. So go ahead and save your script if you haven't already. Alright, and then our player here, right now when we press play, let's test it out. We forgot to add the flipping, so we need to add the flipping real quick, but I don't like how it's all zoomed out either, so let's fix that real quick and then we'll add the flipping on the sprites. What we want is for the player to have a camera. There's a few different ways to do it. I don't like putting it on the scene of the player. I like having it in the level specifically. So for me, I'm just gonna right click, add child node, and then I'm gonna search for a camera 2D. Press create, And then you're going to see this huge box right here that we need to cut down the size. So over here on the right in the inspector, let's go ahead and change the zoom. We'll do 4. That should be fine. And then we're just going to kind of move this camera over to get rid of a lot of that gray area. Press Ctrl S to save. Now let's click on our little script here to go back to our code and flip the sprite, something we forgot to do. So in our code, let's come down here, and I think we're gonna put it right here between our animation calls. So flip sprite, and what we're gonna do is the following. If velocity dot x is not equal to 0, then we're going to take the animated sprite dot flip h, and velocity dot x is going to be less than 0. Alright, that should work here. Let's go ahead and press play, and then you'll see how it looks with the camera zoomed in as well. So we're running and we flip around. We got the jump working. Alright, so we got a better player, better movement, and the animations are working, the sprites flipping around. That's exactly what we want. So with that, what we went over is we actually tightened up the player movement and made it a little more conducive to what we wanted. We learned about adding inputs. We added a right, left, and a jump input. We also added some animations, not just into our code, but to the player itself. We added the death, jump, and run animations. We also went ahead and flipped our sprite around. That way it knows which way it faces, the way that it's moving. So in the next video, we'll be creating our first enemy. We'll also be having it kill the player. So I will see you guys in the next video.